Hey guys, this is Dan and Nina for our very first vlog of Life Begins at 30.
And also Ronald, who's just been walking past there. Alright, yeah, we'll carry on from there, and I'll just cut that bit there. Yeah, so this is our first ever vlog for our channel Life Begins at 30, which I created nearly a year ago now. And we're going to go through today about the things that we've learned from our first ever week doing van life. And we're going to tell you the ups and downs and what we've learned so far. Make sure you subscribe and like this video, and once you've subscribed, just hit that notification button so you don't miss an episode. We're going to try and post weekly around about 8 PM. I'm going to say Central European time, so 7 PM back in the UK, and whatever it is back in America, or whatever it is in Asia, wherever you're watching now. We're going to try and do it every Thursday, so hopefully you carry on watching and enjoy the series.
So we have a collection of things, 8 things to be specific, about the ups and downs of van life. And we're going to start it with the first one is teamwork. Now, living in a tiny little place, teamwork is really, really important. One person's on one side of the van, the one person's on the other side, and it's nearly 9 times out of 10, you're going to need what's on the other side of the van. It's a pretty squishy, cut through to get to the other side, so you're going to need to work together. That's one thing we struggle with a little bit, I would say. We're improving, but it can get pretty tough.
Yeah, I would definitely say we struggled on the first couple of days. It was like, Nina, can you pass the soap? And it was then causing what we would say our next part that we've learned, which is arguments, and they will happen no matter what, no matter how much you like each other or love each other or hate each other. Arguments will happen, and you need to learn to
make up, really. It's going to happen, and as long as you can learn how to improve it and how to, listen to each other and communicate. As long as you can communicate, I think it's... I don't know.
I was catching flies, so I don't know where you were going with this. I was like... But yeah, you do need to learn to communicate, especially better in such a small space, because you can't get away from each other. Especially on today, it's just been raining the whole day. Apart from right now, it's 23 degrees. It's really hot. And last time someone had a go at me because the last video, I had the ventilation system on to cool myself down, and someone wasn't happy with the sound in the background.
So now we're just sweating like stinky pigs, I guess.
So yeah, just that. But yeah, there are times that you can't get out of the van, and you just need your own space. So, I mean,
one way we've worked it is that we kind of forget that the front cabin is also a living space. And if we need 5 minutes, we can just shut the curtain and sit in the front cabin, read a book. I mean, books are my friend at the moment. They are so helpful just to escape for the time being. And that is really what you need when you are stuck to each other, literally in this sweaty van.
Yeah, so our next thing that we've learned is the freedom that you actually have in living in the van. That comes to a point where we were in Leiden, in Holland, and we were using the Park for Free app. Ended up in this really dodgy street, an alleyway, where it said that there was parking, so we went down there. It was actually someone's house, but it just didn't look right, so we had the freedom to say to ourselves, this isn't where we're going to stay tonight, we're going to move on. So we ended up moving on to our first actual location in Holland, which was near a little beachside that we could just go and do some workout in the morning there. There was a big car park. We had no problems with the police, which that could actually happen in Holland because you're not supposed to stay in any vehicle overnight. But next week you'll be able to see that during our time in Holland and our vlog for our first episode of actually travelling. So yeah, so the freedom to move around if we don't like locations is really good.
Our next point is that cooking in the van is a lot more pleasant than we thought. Although it's a tiny little kitchen area, if one person's just doing all the cooking and the other person does the washing up, there is so much space to still have wonderful meals. we quite like Asian food. We have a little shop that was near my house back in England that we just stocked up everything, as many like packets of ramen and noodles and rice as we could, and it's just so easy to make a dinner. I thought that cooking would be a lot more of a drama, especially with tidying up.
Moving on from what Nina said with the cooking, I bought 2 907 gas canisters, so if you are into your van life you might already know what they are, but they're only 2.3 kilograms of butane. I bought 2 of those canisters. I left one at my dad's so he could use it for his lantern or whatever he uses it for, and I took one which has no gas in it, but we've been using it for the past week and it's still usable, and I'm shaking it and there's hardly anything in there. So one of the big things that I've realised is that you don't actually use as much gas as we thought. Like, we've got 28 cans of butane that we bought for 30 quid on Amazon so that we could cook outside, but because it's been raining quite a lot in Holland, we haven't really cooked outside yet. We've only cooked indoors, so we've been using the indoor one, the 907 camping gas one, and it's still going. So we're going to use a lot less gas than I thought we were. I thought we were going to be spending easily 30, probably more than that, pounds a month on gas. So that's quite good. Which then leads us on to our next point, is the lack of water, which is really bad because obviously you need water to survive, and so far finding drinking water it's not really a problem. You can go to supermarkets, but then you're paying for water that you can find. You can find drinking water in certain taps. We've been using it at Nina's brother's farm here.
Yeah.
However, what was it that they might have?
There's a chance that there's a bit of E. coli in the water, and so they said you're probably best to not drink it. Although I think my brother does, or one of them did, and he's absolutely fine. But we've got our life straws, which we thought we'd be drinking out of like dirty ponds, not so much out of tap water. But they've been a bit of a lifesaver. Another thing is that we never really thought we had a problem with the water quantity that the van could take until we watched another Vanlifers video, and they said that, they had I can't remember how much it was, you might remember. Like,
they had 70 gallons of water, and we were like, oh right, we've got 70 litres, it can't be that much difference. It is actually a massive difference. Because US gallons are a bit different to UK gallons.
Yeah, and they were saying basically how they don't have enough water to have as many showers as they'd like to, and we were just thinking, oh, well, we're a bit screwed because we've got even less. So we think that we can have about 3 showers, plus cooking, plus a bit of drinking water, for like 3 days. And that works out okay, as long as we can constantly find a water supply. That might be a problem we have a lot more in the future. For now, as we're staying on the farm, it's okay. And I actually got to wash my hair after a week, which felt amazing.
And I'm sure there'll be many videos in the future of us trying to find water sources. I'll probably just do a video just about finding water sources. Yesterday we went to a cemetery which had a hose pipe there, so stuff like that I think will be alright, but it's finding those places and then having the balls to do it. So moving on to our next point is that our sleeping has improved, and so I bought a Fitbit Versa before I left because I wanted to keep up with my my workouts, try and do it daily, even though I've only worked out 3 times this week. But it also tracks my sleep, and I have no alarm to get up anymore, so I can sleep whenever I want. Up here, the light, we haven't covered it, so that normally wakes me up. It doesn't wake me up. She sleeps for like 10.5 hours a night. I sleep for about 7. However, compared to when I was even just staying in a room when I was in a military barracks, I was getting very less sleep, and my sleep quality wasn't as good. And my sleep quality has improved. Whether it's the difference in, so I've spent quite a lot of money on these foam mattresses that we got for our bed. So whether it's the quality of the mattress that I'm sleeping on, or just because it's nice and peaceful wherever we are, so we're just trying to stay out of the areas that are quite busy and loud. So yeah.
So our next point is fly nets. Now we've got these lovely fly nets in the back that Dan's mum made for us, and they have been a godsend. We still need to put the fly nets on the side passage door. The past couple of nights our sleeping has it's been good in terms of your comfort and routine. Our biggest problem is that flies keep landing on us like all the time, and I promise we are showering. We do have water at the moment, but it's just they land on your face in the middle of the night and it wakes you up. So we decided to buy an electric fly squasher. Squasher?
Fly tennis racket? I don't know what they
Yeah,
are. Like
burner.
from this little Chinese shop.
It stinks, but it was like €2 and it has saved us. We are finally fly free in the van.
But it is ruthless because you like cook flies on the tennis racket. It's pretty.
I feel a bit bad.
Yeah, well.
But I want them to stop landing on my face.
She doesn't. The flies land and she just watches them cook. Definitely psycho.
Excuse me, he is currently doing a biography at the moment because that is a description of himself.
Yeah, I also do that as well. And then the last point, really, moving on to, it is so easy to clean this place because there's not much to clean. However,
it gets so messy.
Yeah.
So quickly. I mean, Dan will say I'm a very messy person, but I also will say that Dan is a very messy person. So two messy people living in one little tiny place, it gets a bit claustrophobic in here. I'm a bit of a procrastinator. I'm going to say Dan is too. I know he's going to pull a face, but it's true. And the thing is, you have to put something away. As soon as you've got it, you need to put it back into where it goes. Otherwise, everything ends up everywhere and you forget where the places are because we've just got such a limited amount of room to keep little things that have easy access. We've got a lot of storage under the bed, but it is a bit of a pain to have to lift up all of the duvets, all of the pillows, to then lift up a wooden panel to grab something underneath, and then another wooden panel if it's even further. So pick it up, put it away. Simple rule.
Yeah, and that's pretty much our 8 things that we've learned so far in our first week. Like, it's only been very little time, but this is, you learn it straight away. So we need to adapt and overcome. That is probably the worst saying I could say. It's a very military saying.
Overcome.
Adapt and overcome these problems, and I think we will. And we're definitely getting better. But once we've left the comfort of this farm, which we've been here for 4 days now, it might. Yeah, was it longer? It might be a little bit different because we've had water over there. We've got toilets that we can empty our toilet into. We've been able to use the washing machine. I mean, we venture out tomorrow and to go visit windmills because I love windmills. I don't know why, because we don't have them in England. So we're going to go and find some windmills tomorrow, and then that's it, and we're moving on to Germany. So it's going to be a little bit different. So maybe there might be another video coming out about things that we've learned when we actually van life and not just live on a farm. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. The next one will come out next Thursday, 8 PM, and that will be our whole time in Holland. So we've been recording loads of stuff that we've been doing, and little hints and tips of when we've been here and things that we've learned as well. And then while we're here, we'll probably do a van tour of the whole van because I know there's loads of people who want to see it. So we'll do that, and then we're going to move on to Germany, Switzerland, and further down south. We'll figure it out on the way. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and yeah, share it around. Hope you enjoy it.